Wow, that was just unpleasant. Not doing that entrance again. During the fidget spinner fad, I never actually held one of these things. I was a little scared too. I'm quite a twitchy squid. I find myself playing with pens a lot. Maybe I'd be addicted to fidget spinners. Or maybe I'd find them beneath my compulsions. Some people click pens, or twirl them, and I do all that too. But it's just not twitchy enough for me. I disassemble pens and reassemble them like Forrest Gump. Could simple fidget spinners give me that compulsive rush? Or are they just noob tools for introducing twitching to amateur twitchers? Let's think about it. Put away the fidget spinners, because I've been making little beaded bracelets lately. It's a lot of fun choosing the colors and stringing them up in order. It's also a lot of fun to play with the bracelets, stretching them and sliding beads back and forth. I started making these bracelets because I got one as a souvenir at Sensoji. It's a temple in Japan quite popular for tourists. The bracelet had 28 beads, one big one here, two small ones here, and 25 medium ones. I googled some details, as I am wont to do, and found this Wikipedia article on japamala, or mala, meaning garlands, strings of prayer beads for all those classic Eastern philosophies I'm clearly obsessed with. The typical bead counts for such a bracelet are 27 or 108, sometimes with one extra bead, which is a bit bigger. I like those numbers. Numbers like 128, 1024, these are holy to computer scientists because they're powers of 2. 27 is 3 to the power of 3, very satisfying. And 108 is 27 times 2 to the power of 2. Alright. 81 might be better, in my opinion, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, but I'm certain the Sensoji folks know what they're doing. The bracelet I got from Sensoji broke after about a year, probably because I played with it way too much. I fixed it, but I kept playing with it way too much, and it broke again. I lost a few of the beads, so I bought some more beads, and here I am. Making bracelets, playing with bracelets, breaking bracelets, and making more bracelets got me thinking about fidget spinners. These things really took off for a while, huh? Schools hated them. Teachers already hated cell phones, but at least it's reasonable to ban cell phones in class, right? Fidget spinners might look totally distracting, but banning them is just totalitarian.
Local pediatrician Scott Krugman says it started out innocently enough, a digital distraction for kids with ADHD.
Right, because they're getting their energy out with their hands so they can focus on the teacher.
You can't even hold a spinny plastic thing anymore? Come on, prof. This reminds me of the game, which I've just lost. The game is a dumb meme activity with 3 rules. You are playing it always, whether you like it or not. If you think about it, you lose, and when you lose, you're obligated to say so aloud. Schools hated the game, too. A kid might just go, "Dang, I lost the game," in the middle of a test, and the rest of the kids would groan and say the same thing over and over. Honestly, compared to this fad, fidget spinners were fine. Kids focused on fidget spinners probably won't lose the game. So, fidget spinner is to the game what Japamala is to what? Kids fidget spin to ignore the game and stop chanting about it. Monks count beads to... Sensoji is dedicated to the bodhisattva called Kannan. I think this is her picture on the big bead. Outside Japan, Kannan might be called Kuan Yin or Avalokiteshvara. Sometimes they're presented as female, sometimes male. Gender is complicated when you're a bodhisattva with 11 heads and 1,000 arms. Kannan can basically look like whatever they want to look like in order to lead people to Nirvana. Enlightenment. Being totally woke, bro. How do you get there? Nyanfo, apparently. Kannan's friend Amitabha is totally a Buddha, and if you trust him when you die, you'll go to his pure land. You'll stay in this paradise until Amitabha and Kannan and all their pals get you enlightened. Rad. This is often compared to Christianity. Want to go to heaven? Just have faith in Jesus. Having faith in Amitabha is all about Nyanfo, saying his name again and again and again. You only need to say it 10 times total, or even just once if you really mean it. But it's best to be thinking it, like, all the time. This is the opposite of the game. You win by focusing your mind on something forever instead of losing when you remember it. But, just like the game, once you learn of Nianfo, it can be hard to put it down, because it won't let you go. Whether you like it or not, you were playing the game before you were unlucky enough to first hear about the game. Just like Christians and Buddhists might explain you already had original sin and dukkha before they told you you had them. The game is a pessimistic religion compared to practices where your persistent awareness is winning. Amitabha has a few different names in different areas, just like Kanaan, so Nianfo can sound a variety of ways. But chanting the names loudly is like the beginning for amateurs. Chanting quietly is better, but what's best is chanting entirely in your head. If you're good at Nianfo, you can chant next to people with different names for Amitabha, and you won't distract each other like kids losing the game. Not every area encourages counting beads while chanting to Amitabha, but some of them do. Christian monks play with beads too. Okay, as usual, I don't want to sound like I'm diminishing religion by comparing prayer beads to fidget spinners and mindfulness and faith to the game. I also don't want to sound like I'm elevating fidget spinners and the game to the level of religion. You know, I used to call myself a very pretentious atheist, but I found the phrase transtheism lately, and it's exactly my brand of pretentiousness. Whether there are gods or not, I want to poke behind them. If you think that's ignoring God, then my God is bigger than your God. What I'm trying to say is, here, let me break out a book. Robert Wright's The Evolution of God begins with the author explaining how his last book, The Moral Animal, got him kicked out of church. He thinks they took it the wrong way. He says religion is a feature of cultural evolution that, among other things, addresses anxieties created by cultural evolution. It helps keep social change safe from itself. The stuff we call religion keeps popping up, not necessarily because any of them are objectively true, but because everything we don't call a religion started out as one or from one, and if you're not willing to change it, improve it, it becomes a religion again, even if you call it something else. Metaphors for mindfulness and awareness have been evolving for as long as we have. If we forget or abandon those metaphors, they can pop up again inverted and distract all you school kids from learning about exponentials. Shame on you. I'll keep thinking about this. It's all I do here at Thinkster, after all. Let me end talking about what Amitabha's super awesome Pure Land is supposed to be like. Basically, it's super awesome. There's sort of a Dantean setup where incomers are divided into 9 categories. So if you are a bad boy who chanted in faith at the last minute, you'll be stuck inside a lotus for a while. When the lotus opens, there are trees and ponds, bodhisattvas all over the place, gold, silver, jewelry, lots of birds which sing about the Buddha. You're supposed to visualize all this while you chant, with the knowledge that it's what you'll see after you die because you're chanting. When you count beads or twirl a fidget spinner, forget about the game. Choose to be happy instead. Being happy is hard, and it requires attention at every single moment. Bye-bye. Oh dear. Oh,